guys, welcome to another video by myself, Bates87, where today we are going to look at the biggest traitors in world football, as well as throwing some honourable mentions from around the world as well, guys, because we all know your club definitely has one of the traitors out there. Now, we can see the bench, guys, it's stacked, the reserves is stacked, and guess what? So is the team, and we're going to have a look, guys. Feel free to leave a like, rate, and subscribe, hit that bell button, all that good stuff, and check out all the content on the channel. And we're going to kickstart, guys, with the bench and reserves and talk about them. Right, let's start on the bench, guys. We have got Robbie Keane. So, Robbie Keane, guys, first one went from Wolves to Coventry City, seen as direct rivals. Was the first part of his traitorish trait. The next one, guys, was going from Spurs to West Ham. But to be fair, I believe that can be forgiven because it is the end of the career. But when it comes to London-based clubs, guys, it's a reoccurring theme between the video. The next one, Michael Owen. Michael Owen, guys, Liverpool's young gun. Won a Ballon d'Or, you know, absolutely brilliant. Went to Real Madrid and then messed around, disappeared a little bit, got a little bit injured, and then guess what? Turns up at Old Trafford. Now, for some reason, Liverpool still see him as a club legend. I don't think there's many Liverpool fans out there which still see him as a club legend. I'm one of them people. I'm like, nah, he's not. He's not. So we're going to include Michael Owen in there. We've got Brian Laudrup, who went from Barcelona. Played quite a few games at Barcelona and then went directly to Real Madrid for another 2 years and played 76 games. We've then got Jack Grealish, guys, and this one's a mention because I know this one will get called up. And if you guys do miss or not see any people in here, feel free to let us know. We've gone with Jack Grealish. Now, you guys might not remember Jack Grealish, but Jack Grealish used to play for Ireland and then chose his nationality to England, which is seen as one of the most like horrible things to do, switching from Ireland to England and playing for England. And it's not only him who did that, it's also Declan Rice, and there's loads of other people throughout the career who have done that as well. We got Baggio going from Fiorentina to direct rivals Juventus. Now, that might not be a thing nowadays, but back in the day, guys, Fiorentina and Juventus were the two of the biggest teams in Serie A, and that's why it was seen as a massive, massive deal. I think there was riots over this as well, 50 people left injured. The next one, we have got Robin van Persie. Not a direct battle in terms of location of teams, but Van Persie at Arsenal, flying high, doing really, really well. Couldn't win that Premier League trophy, and he's like, right, I'm going to go and join United. And then guess what, guys? The season after he got his move to United, who had to give him a guard of honour when they won the Premier League trophy, guys? That's right. He left Arsenal, joined United, wins the league, gets a standing ovation and a guard of honour off all the Arsenal players who he's turned his back on and joined. Pretty rough. We have got Ces Fabregas. Now, this one's like an indirect one, guys. He left Arsenal. He wasn't really wanted by Arsene Wenger. He went, I believe, to Barcelona. And then, boom, he comes back in the Premier League, guys, and joins Chelsea, which didn't go down that well. We also got Ian Wright. Ian Wright starting off his career at Crystal Palace and then going to another London-based club, guys, Arsenal. And you guys might remember him at Crystal Palace, but he was a beast there. Nearly playing the same amount of games as well. And then from Arsenal, went to West Ham, but didn't really do that well, guys. But he did like his London-based clubs. Ibrahimovic. Say hello to Ibra. Played for Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan. But the reason he's in here isn't because of his clubs. Even though you could say that is the issue, it's because he turned his back on the Sweden national team and said he'll never play, made some gestures, la 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 la. And then they qualified for something, and then he came back. And he had a statue in Malmo, I believe, and that statue didn't last very long. Let's just throw it out there. We've also got Wayne Rooney going from Everton, joining Manchester-based Manchester United. And the blue side of Liverpool was not very happy at this. Obviously, the young talent actually tearing it up in the Premier League and then goes and joins Manchester United. Was pretty rough. We've also got a mention here, Johan Cruyff. A lot of people only remember him for Ajax, Holland, Barcelona. But if you look at the back end of his career, guys, he played for Ajax for 2 years. And then at the end of it, Ajax wouldn't offer him a contract. He then moved by choice to direct rivals Feyenoord, who he went and lifted the Eredivisie with, and became the Dutch Player of the Year. Not really a traitor, but, you know, like if anyone else had done it, it would have got mentioned. So we threw Cruyff in there. And then we got Higuain. Obviously, this card is available if you guys play this season. He went from Napoli, who he was idolised by, and then went on to join the champions of Italy, which was Juventus. Wasn't seen as the best. So there were the mentions of the bench and reserves, guys. We've also got Steve Bruce. If you want to do some research on Steve Bruce, you can find it. But literally, he was a managerial snake and just got out of stuff and went to direct rivals. Could have had Harry Redknapp in there as well. And we are going to have some honourable mentions, guys. Carlos Tevez is not in FIFA. He went from Manchester United to Manchester City and then paraded around the Premier League trophy celebrations with a RIP Fergie banner, which I thought was pretty weird. We've got Adebayor. Leaving Arsenal to join Man City, scoring a goal against Arsenal, running the full length of the pitch to knee slide in front of the away fans. And if you guys haven't seen that, I would really recommend searching Adebayor, Man City, Arsenal, and you guys will see it. It is one of the most shithousery things that I have seen in football. Now, I'm just going to ask the chat quickly, guys, some other honourable mentions, and I'll give you some more as well before I move on to the starting 11. We also have William Gallas, Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea. Was pretty rough with that one, but he's not in FIFA as well. And then we've also got Mo Johnston and Kenny Miller. Now, when it comes to Rangers and Celtic, guys, there's a Protestant and there's a Catholic side of football clubs, and that becomes a very, very not very fun thing to get involved in. But Miller was at Rangers and then joined Celtic and then back to Rangers, so a bit like that. And then I think I mentioned Alan Smith, guys. Alan Smith went from Leeds to Manchester United, but he's not the only person who's done that. There's actually 2 people in the starting 11 which have done that transfer. In the goalkeeper position, we are going to go with Peter Schmeichel. Whew. Wonder why I mentioned him, guys. He left Manchester United. He joined Aston Villa, I believe, or did he go somewhere else? He joined Sporting, then Aston Villa, and then went to Manchester City. Now, fair play to him, right? Manchester City weren't the force that they are now. But there is a video, guys, where he was the captain of Manchester City, and he walking in the tunnel to go and shake the hands of the other captain, which was Gary Neville, and Gary Neville just shunned him, blanked him, and a little bit of a giggle. Very awkward moment. A bit like Anthony Joshua fighting and letting him have the mic after the fight. In the centre-back position, we have got our first one, which is going to be a brief talk about what it was, guys. Leeds United to Manchester United. This is not a very keen transfer to be making, but Rio Ferdinand did make it, and he did become one of the most successful footballers in world football, one of the best defenders ever as well. In the centre-back position, on the right-hand side, we've got another icon. Now, this one is pretty brutal, and I think this could be the #1 traitor in world football. It is Sol Campbell. Oh, Paul Ince. We'll talk about Paul Ince as well. Sol Campbell, right? Tottenham captain. Not just Tottenham player, guys. Tottenham captain. And he's like, right, I'm going to go and join Arsenal. He joins Arsenal. He becomes an invincible. And I think everyone agrees, worst ever football trade. There's also another one which could go down as well. And a lot of people do not like Sol Campbell. Now, Paul Ince, guys, I think he was at... I can't remember where Paul Ince was before he joined Manchester United, but that was seen as a bit of a traitor. But Paul Ince did end up at Liverpool. There's also Nicky Barmby, who went from Everton to Liverpool. Xavier, he was a defender with crazy hair. He went from Everton to Liverpool as well. People think there's another worse one. We'll keep going, guys. Left back, we have got Ashley Cole or Cashley Cole. Arsenal, invincible, and then joined Chelsea. The Ibrahimovic era starts. He leaves Arsenal. He joins Chelsea. Wild. But yeah, still good football. Can't really complain about that. Right back, guys. We haven't got a right back. We're going to throw in an end of era card because he's going to be disappearing out of FIFA. And we're going to throw in Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe, guys, used to be a West Ham player. And then West Ham got relegated. Within 24 hours of West Ham getting relegated, he put in a transfer request. And guess who he joins? Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously a London-based club. You can see a reoccurring theme, guys, isn't it? It's all in London. It's London. London. Terrible. Centre mid. And there's a few players in here, guys, who I'm going to use as a talking point. I don't think there's any high rateds in here. Where is the next one? The next one is, I believe, an 89 rated player. And the reason I want to talk about is actually, there he is. It's Mario Götze. So, you may see a lot of transfers made between Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Now, there's two reasons why. Obviously, Munich are the #1 club in the Bundesliga. But a while ago, Dortmund were on the brink of collapse. The club was going to disappear. They're in massive, massive debt. And obviously, that would be bad for the league. And it would be bad for Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich needed a rival. Dortmund were that rival. Bayern Munich decided to sort out the debts for Dortmund, giving them a lot of money. And then they had a behind-the-scenes closed agreement where basically Munich can go dip in and buying players from Dortmund for cut price. Lewandowski, I believe, was a free transfer. Götze, I think, followed suit not long after. And there's a video of him training in, I think, the first game after his transfer from Dortmund to Munich. It was a Super Cup, and it was at the Dortmund Stadium. And there's a video of him training in the tunnels away from the crowd. And guess what, guys? He came on and scored as well. So that's why I'm going to mention him, guys. Not really seen as a traitor, but that's what happens in the Bundesliga. In the centre mid, on the right-hand side, I'm going to go over right mid this time. The right mid is going to be Luis Figo. Now, if you guys have ever seen a pig's head, probably worth searching Figo Real Madrid. That'll probably be the #1 Google search image. Figo obviously went from Barca to Real Madrid. The Galacticos time, it was pretty brutal, and he got a lot of stick for it. And a lot of people think he's the #1 traitor, but I'm still going to stick by Sol Campbell. So Melvin, guys, who runs the Shorts channel, if you guys have not seen the Shorts channel, definitely recommend going and check it out. Melvin just said there's a documentary coming out about Figo, so definitely worth the watch there. The next traitor we're going to go with, guys, is Lampard. And people are like, why are we putting in Frank Lampard? And you're probably thinking Chelsea to Man City, but that was like a bad transfer gone wrong where he couldn't join New York City in time. But obviously New York City FC are owned by the Manchester City group, and that's why he ended up City. And I think he scored against Chelsea as well. But this one isn't that. Early on, a young Frank Lampard, managed by Harry Redknapp, moved from West Ham to Chelsea. And I think that's happened a few times. Maybe Joe Cole made the same move as well. But Lampard moved from West Ham, seen as the young gun. And that's why, guys, West Ham to Chelsea, and came on to one of the best Premier League footballers of all time. In the cam position, we are going to go with, and I need to have a look for him, because yet again, I've fucking forgotten who it is. Guys, who was in cam? Oh, it's Çalhanoğlu, wasn't it? Right, guys, in the cam position, we have got a Reading form, and this one's one of the recent transfers, which has been talked about a lot, and is a Reading form. This one is a player leaving AC Milan to join Inter Milan. And if you guys have seen what happened last year in the Serie A, guys, AC Milan won the Serie A. And Çalhanoğlu was a part of the Inter team. Who knows, he might go on and win some more trophies, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic called him out on the parade, and the whole crowd was singing Çalhanoğlu, or he's called Hakan, right? They were like, Hakan. Yeah, there was a chant going around, if you guys have seen that on the videos. Now, to finish off team, guys, we've got 2 strikers. The first one is going to be a centre-forward. It's going to be our boy, Eric Cantona, making the move from Leeds to Manchester United. Another player, same as Ferdinand and same as Alan Smith. There is another big boy transfer, and it's nothing to do with kicking anyone in the face. And the final player in the team, guys, is one, when you search Traitor R9 Ronaldo, it comes up as numerous teams, because our boy went from Barcelona to Inter to Real Madrid to Milan. He did it 4 times, guys. Nothing to do with nations or anything else like that. Although I'm going to throw in Diego Costa from going to Brazil to Spain, or maybe vice versa. But there we are, guys. The biggest traitors in world football. If I missed anyone, feel free to let me know. There's going to be no gameplay to go along with this guy. Pirlo's not a traitor. I'm not throwing Pirlo in the list. I'm not throwing Torres in the list as traitors either. But I think we've built a very solid team. Would it play good on FIFA? Probably not. Guys, leave a like rating, hit the bell button, all that good stuff. Until next time, bye-bye.